Okay, so I'm going to create a new Unreal project. So I've downloaded all of the animations, so T-pose, idle, talking, yelling, running slide, etc. And as we are going to test this, and we're going to test some other things later, I'm going to make sure I use the vehicle template. So games, vehicle, got a folder on my desktop, calling it Mixamo test, blueprint, don't want starter content, don't want ray tracing, going to click on create. That's going to create our project. Now it's doing that on another screen here, but if we look, Mixamo test, this is all of our project folder. This is everything that we need to move, we need to back up. It's not a sort of just one file, one game file, it is this whole folder. So that is the project. So if you want to copy that onto your USBs or hard drives, etc., you need to copy the whole lot. If you notice, there's a content folder in here. This is where we put everything. That's what we can access through the content browser in our project. So here's the project, it's opened up. Now we've got the content browser here. Look, content, that's this folder, level prototyping, track, vehicles, vehicle template. If we look at that folder again here, the Mixamo test, yeah, content, okay, we've got vehicle template, vehicles, track, level prototyping. So there's some hidden folders in here. Developers, collections, and then these external actors. So they're specifically hidden. But this here we can see in the content browser is this folder here. It's just important to know, but it's the whole folder. Yeah, all of this that is your project. That's what you need to move around. That's what you need to keep. Okay, we don't need that open for the moment. Right. I'm going to, as we went through in class, and as we know, I'm going to create a new level. It's going to be an empty level. Create. I'm going to add some basic lights for the environment light mixer. That pops up our mixer panel where we create all of these different types of lights, like so. So we've got our basic environment, and then I'm going to create a landscape. Job done. Now I don't want to sculpt anything, we're just going to be playing around with animations, so I'm going to go into the selection mode. Now I want to bring in my Mixamo animation, so I'm going to right click, I'm going to create a new folder in the content browser, and I'm going to call it Mixamo. Yeah, go into that folder. Now what we can see is if we look now here into our project, we've got content folder, we've now got Mixamo, yeah, now we've got an empty folder in there, but we've created that folder, so we're literally playing around in that folder. Now I'm going to use this import button. I'm going to use this import button so that I can control a little bit more of what I'm bringing in, rather than going import into level. I'll make sure I import from here. I'm not going to drag and drop either, because that again, you know, can lead to issues and auto selected things that we don't actually need. Excuse me a second. Excuse me. So I'm going to import, and then we're going to find the cinematics folder, which I created on the desktop. So let's have a look. Environment cinematic. And then the first thing I'm going to bring in is the T-pose. It's really important that you bring in the T-pose first. So skeletal mesh, import mesh, we'll have those selected. Animation, yeah, we'll have the animation on. And import length, that's fine. So import all. We'll think about it. And then it'll bring everything in. It will give you some warnings, don't worry about that. But it will bring in all of these files here. So these are all textures. These are the meshes. Okay, this is the animation, which is standing in a T-pose. This is a skeleton and a physics asset. So we can drag in the T-pose. There we go. We've got our character, skeletal mesh, standing in the T-pose. All good. Right, we're going to save all that. I'm going to make sure that I use this save button as well, because that saves everything we've brought in. Ask us where we want to save the level, which is fine. So I want that the root of the content folder. So I'm going to call that Mixamo test. Save. and then job done. So I've got my level here, Mixamo test. I've got my Mixamo animations with all of my sequences in here. Now T-poses are great, but we want people to do something, so we're going to bring in some talking now. So I'm going to import, and then from that we'll choose yelling, just because it's a little bit more active. Now we've already got the mesh, yeah. So I'm going to take away the import mesh. The skeletal mesh. We're not going to bring the import mesh, so we'll keep that. But what skeleton are we going to use? We want it to use the same one here. So skeleton, and let's have a look. What have we got? We've got T-pose skeleton. Yeah. So let's find it. T-pose skeleton. Already done. Animation, exported time. Make sure we're bringing that in. That's all cool. Click on import all. There we go. Give us a warning about frame rate. Okay, that's fine. And then we've got yelling here. Now if we bring that in, and click on play, we can see it's playing the yelling animation. Now, so let's say we want this person here to play a particular animation. We'd select him, so I've deleted that one. We can choose the, that's the mesh, we can choose the animation asset and animation to play yelling. Okay, now we're clicking on play the game. What we can do is swap that over to simulate, and then we can still move around and have a look, and we can watch our animation playback. Now that's it really. It's very straightforward. Just make sure we're not bringing in multiple characters. Make sure that we're deselecting those options when we import the actual animation files. We'll just do that again. Import, let's have a look at running. We won't bring in the mesh. We'll make sure we've got the right skeleton selected. Import all. We'll give us that warning, that's fine. Now we should have running. So I'm going to apply running to that character. See running here. Now if we simulate, it's running. But we have a problem. Yeah, it's looping. Now we'll have to look at that in a different video, how we fix that. Question is, do we need it? And this is why storyboards, why putting things out and all the rest of it is going to be absolutely important, because we need to know how far that person needs to run. If it's not necessary, if we're not going to need it, there's no need to work on how we can loop it and all the rest of it. Because obviously we want to go from running and then we want to transition into a slide. That would be the next thing to do. Okay, and we'll have a look at that in a later video. Okay, but that's bringing in basic animation.